Hallo Leute, ich bin Lilly. Ich komme ursprünglich aus Frankfurt. Ich habe in den Niederlanden studiert.
Hello, hi. I'm with my friend Lily here. Hi, Lily.
Hi.
Can you tell to my audience a little bit of your background?
Sure. Hi, I'm Lily. I'm 25 years old. I was born in China, but I basically grew up in Germany, close to Frankfurt. And I was adopted actually when I was 2. So yeah, my mom is German and my dad was Dutch.
We are in Malaysia. So what are you doing in Malaysia right now?
I'm just backpacking through Malaysia a little bit. It's like my last big trip before my job starts in August. So yeah, no, I'm just gonna explore Southeast Asia a little bit, mainly Malaysia and Thailand for like a week or so. And I'm really excited, yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a fun trip you're having right now. How long have you been in Malaysia?
Not only 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. And I only have like another week or so left before I head to Bangkok. And then Bangkok another week, and then I'm going back to Germany.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So within like 2.5 to 3 weeks, where have you visited in Malaysia?
Kuala Lumpur, of course, where we are right now. And then I went to Penang, then to Ipoh, back south. And then from there to the Perhentian Islands, where I did my open water dive certificate, which was really, really fun, really cool. I would recommend anyone to do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of cool places that you've been to. So out of all those places, which one is your favorite if you can choose? Or maybe top 3 places in Malaysia?
I mean, I haven't been to that many, right? So Perhentian Island was great, obviously, because I've never been diving before, so that was my first experience, like, you know, in the sea, under the water. And yeah, it was a very new experience to me, and I think that's what made it so exciting. And the rest of Malaysia is beautiful. I think it's not something very new, you know, like the things I see and like the people, because I've been traveling quite a bit in Southeast Asia, East Asia, China also. But what I do love about it is that, and I think everyone's going to say that, the diversity and obviously the food, that's just really, really cool. Like all these huge mix of cultures and religions. Like I said this to my friend, you know, you walk down the street and you see a Buddhist temple, then you see a Hindu temple, and then you see a mosque, like all in the same area. So that's really fun. That's something I haven't seen before. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Yeah.
That's a really good answer, by the way. So within the 2.5 to 3 weeks, what have surprised you the most? What's the most shocking thing that you found out about Malaysia? Because you say it's not entirely new experience, but what have you experienced that you didn't expect before, something like that?
Oh, I'm not sure if anything was really surprising. I guess everyone told me already how great the food is going to be, but then when you taste it yourself, that's just a whole other experience. Like that was just amazing. So far, I think almost every dish I had, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever tried. And I think I found a new love for seafood, which I guess I didn't have before. So maybe that was the most surprising thing, how good people are at making fish really delicious. And yeah, I don't know, I really, really enjoyed the seafood so far.
Okay.
Yeah, and the fish curry. Oh my God, so good.
Right. Yeah. You hit all the jackpots.
Yeah. You don't get it like that at all, I think, in Europe. I mean, maybe at some really special Asian restaurants. But yeah, I haven't had it at least until now. So yeah.
So following that question would be, what do you like the most about Malaysia?
The most. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite a basic answer, but just like the vibes, the people, everything is quite relaxed. I feel like all the interactions I've had, they were very genuine, very easygoing. Nothing feels, you know, a bit forced. Like, I'm saying that because I've had experiences in other places, other countries where people feel a little pushy maybe, or they're a little more, they have these like more forced interactions because they want something from you, if you get me, you know, like as a tourist, you come to a new place, you have maybe a bit more money, whatever, and then people kind of want to take advantage of that a little bit. And still, like, usually I've only mainly met really friendly people everywhere I go, but here I just feel like it's a bit more relaxed and it's just a bit more natural, like everything. And yeah, people are great. I've had a really, really fun time with people here, including you and your friends. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's sweet. So what don't you like about Malaysia, if there's any?
I mean, that's difficult. I feel like I haven't been here long enough to actually properly start criticizing some things here. I mean, of course, no country is perfect, and I'm sure there are certain issues, you know, that you could mention, but I feel like I'm just not in the position right now to make assumptions just yet. So personally, on a personal level, I don't think there's anything I I haven't enjoyed so far. Maybe the durian fruit, because I'm not a big fan of durian. I hope Malaysians won't feel offended. But yeah, so but that's the only thing. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking about food, are you able to name your top 3 dishes in Malaysia?
Yeah, so that fish curry I mentioned earlier was really one of my favorites, because it was home cooked. So it was the wife of the owner of the diving center on the Parrington Islands, and she cooked it for all of us, and it just tasted so good. I think the surprise factor was just like that was just the best part about it, because I didn't expect it, right? I didn't know what I was gonna have for dinner, and then all of a sudden they started cooking, and I was like, oh, what's that? And they said fish curry. And like I said, I'm really not a huge fish fan unless it's sushi. So yeah, my expectations were very low. So yeah, that was just really, really good. I also love the how do I pronounce that? Kway chow.
The noodle.
Yeah, the noodle.
Fried
Yeah. Just the fried, flat sort of rice noodles. I love that. You said top 3. Let me think of the last one. Oh yeah, of course, the banana leaf.
Banana leaf.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Yeah, I had it today with my friend Adam, and also I had it one of my first days with two other friends, Afik and Gia. And it was so delicious. Yeah, it's such a nice. I think that's what Malaysians are so good at, like the combination of different flavors. Like you have a bit of sweet, salty, sour, like and spicy, of course. All of that mixed, and yeah, that's just a great combination. I would recommend to anyone. Please try as much Malaysian food as you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you don't like durian. Any other foods or fruits that you don't like?
Nothing that comes to mind. Everything else that I've had here was delicious. Yeah, no, not really.
Only if there's any. So you are doing a backpacking throughout Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
You are also traveling solo right now. So as a female traveling solo in Malaysia, I think it's a perfect question for me to ask. Is Malaysia safe, especially for a female that is traveling solo? Any opinion about that?
Oh, yeah, I would say definitely. Actually, like before I came here, my boyfriend actually pointed out that Malaysia is one of the safest countries in all of Asia, which surprised me a bit, to be honest. But yeah, no, so I feel very, very safe. I think it might have to do with my looks also. I mean, I do feel like I'm treated a bit like a local, which is a really cool experience, especially considering that before that I lived in the Middle East, where there are not that many Asians, and there I feel like I was a bit of like an attraction. Like it was almost like, oh my god, there's an Asian and it's a girl, you know, like these two combined. People would like have very awkward interactions with me, or just shout things at me that I didn't quite like. Like sometimes I would just get China or Corona, things like that. And yeah, so here that's not the case at all, which makes sense because there are so many Chinese Malaysians. So it feels nice to kind of become part of the crowd and disappear a bit, and not stand out as much, I think. So maybe it would be different if you ask like a white European woman. But yeah, no, for me, everything's been great so far. I felt very safe. And Malaysia is probably one of the best countries to do solo traveling if you're like a first timer, let's say. Yeah, as a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad there's no like bad stories.
Yeah.
I also want to ask, like, what's the difference between Malaysia and Germany or any other European countries that you've ever been to? Other than the weather, maybe like the culture, is it more casual here? I'm not sure. So any differences that you can point out?
Oh, so many cultural differences. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I haven't lived in Germany for a while, right? So it's been almost 7 years. But obviously I know Germany, Germans, Europeans. And yeah, I would say everything is a little more organized, which is not necessarily a good thing, by the way. It's just there are more rules, I guess. There's also a bit of an etiquette, so like how you should behave and shouldn't. I mean, I'm sure that's also here, but yeah, I feel like, and this is maybe like a cultural or like an identity crisis that I sometimes have, but sometimes I don't feel quite as German. And I think that's something I felt very strongly once I left Germany, when I was like 18 till 20, let's say. I also kind of wanted to avoid Germans whenever I travel. So, like, because they're everywhere, right? Like in every hostel you go, you meet Germans. Now things have changed, times change. So I started sort of appreciating German culture a bit more, because, it's becoming more diverse. People are open-minded, they're friendly. they're respectful. And yeah, so personally, I feel like I'm embracing my Asian side a bit more, even though my parents are not Asian. So yeah, in that sense, I never really grew up with Asian culture. But at the same time, I do feel like I belong here. Like I have that sense of belonging a bit more here. Not more than in Germany, sorry, but I mean, maybe more than, let's say, other Europeans that come here.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, yeah, I there are massive differences, and I very much enjoy both worlds. And I think now it's becoming more and more interconnected, you know, like there are a lot of different cultures in Germany now, and a lot of people from everywhere, which I really, really enjoy. Yeah, it's just becoming like German society historically has always been a more homogenous society, right? Whereas Malaysia is crazy diverse. That definitely shapes the society, shapes the country. And like the fact that you have 3 religions and our values are mainly based on Christian values, all these differences. Yeah, I really enjoy being here. And like my friend recently told me that I was saying something like about how much I like rice or some small comment like that, and he was like, "Oh, you're so Asian." And I felt like that was such a compliment for me. I don't know. Yeah, as I said, it hasn't always been that easy being the only sort of Asian in my circle growing up. Like in high school, there were barely any other Asians, and I think part of me wished I had a bit more of an Asian community there to share experiences, talk about these small comments that you would get sometimes. Yeah, that's my very long answer.
Yeah, no, that's really insightful. Yeah, thank you for that answer. So I want to ask, any advice for people in your age group or anybody that can resemble your life story? So yeah, any advice to those people?
Like advice for life in general or for traveling here, or
both? Yeah,
I guess embrace who you are, be proud of your looks, especially when it comes to someone who like me, like who looks different than like everyone around me was always Caucasian, and that comes with certain ideals, beauty standards that I never fulfilled in a way, so that sometimes made me feel a bit insecure when I was younger. And I guess to people out there, I just want to say, like, fuck these beauty standards. Embrace your own beauty. Be yourself as much as you want to be, and like be the person you want to be. It's not always easy being a woman, and being a woman who looks a little different than everyone else, let's say. There will be a little bit of racism that you face in your life, I think, especially when you travel a lot. There will be interactions you won't find as comfortable. There will be interactions that are very demoralizing or discouraging, and I just really hope that anyone who experiences these things, keeps going and doesn't feel demoralized, because it shapes you and makes you stronger in a way, even though that sounds very cliche, but I think it's really true. And yeah, just stay positive, keep going. That's maybe the advice I can give you. And also, one thing about just solo traveling in general, meet as many locals as you can, because sometimes it's fun to meet other foreigners in hostels, party with them, drink with them, whatever. But for me, the most rewarding experiences are the ones where I spend time with locals, I learn about the culture, I educate myself as well. Because, the worst thing for me is leaving a country and then not having learned anything about it or about the people. And also locals show you the very best food. So yeah, do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I want to ask, what is your future plan? Where are you planning to go? Do you plan to go back to Germany or plan to live in another country? Also, after having been here for about 3 weeks, can you see yourself like living in Malaysia for a longer duration?
Definitely. So the last question, definitely. I would love to live in Malaysia for a while. Yeah, I do have to mention right now, I think there's no place on earth that I would say, oh, I want to settle here and live there for the rest of my life, including Germany. Like, I'm going back to Germany in August and start a job, and I'm very excited to actually move back. It's going to be probably a bit weird because I'm going to feel like a tourist in my own city, Frankfurt. But no, I'm excited to settle a little bit, have a stable job for a while. But then in the future, I definitely want to keep moving around. I want to keep exploring other places of the world.
Right.
I'm always saying to my boyfriend, like, we need to live in Asia again, because I think both of us, especially me, of course, we have that maybe passion or however you want to call it for Asia. That's a very broad term, like Southeast Asia probably in particular. So yeah, so I don't see myself properly settling anytime soon, but we'll see where life takes me.
Okay, thanks for the answer. How many languages do you speak?
German, English, Dutch, and a little bit of Spanish that I learned in high school, but it's getting really rusty, so need to practice.
Do you know any Malay language? Have you picked up any?
No, not really. Like, I know how to say chicken, squid, I think it was.
So what's chicken and squid?
chicken is ayam and squid is soton.
Hey,
Right?
yeah.
I also, someone taught me how to say hello and thank you, but I forgot both, which is very bad. Ooh,
If you don't mind, I'll teach you how to say thank you.
Yeah.
Is so terima
Terima
kasih.
kasih.
It's 3 syllables plus 2 syllables. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
All right, yeah.
There you go.
Easy.
Okay, that's thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. And what's hello?
Hello is what is it?
Salam alaikum.
Yeah, it's one way of the greetings.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just say hello, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easy. I can.
Yeah.
I can
just
remember that
hello.
one.
Yeah. So, for my viewers, do you mind to introduce yourself in either Dutch or German, followed by the English translation?
Ja, sure. Hallo Leute, ich bin Lilly. Ich komme ursprünglich aus Frankfurt. Ich habe in den Niederlanden studiert und wohne, wie gesagt, schon seit circa 7 Jahren nicht mehr in Deutschland. Und im August fange ich meinen neuen Job an in Frankfurt und dann seht ihr mich dort. So I was just saying, hi, I'm Lily. I grew up in Frankfurt and I'm going back there in August to start my new job. And I'm excited because I haven't lived in Germany for like 7 years, like I said before. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I said.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's all the questions I have.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Bye guys.
Bye-bye.